Hey, good morning, guys and gals. My morning brief video, real quick here. It's 8:45 in the morning. We just got through having our PPI. Less good data than what the markets were hoping for. So, it does bode well for another three-quarter point rate hike, given the data that's coming out here. So definitely keep that on watch today. Um, primary thesis, my primary target, for today is 3566. Okay, that was my Tom's number. Uh, Johnny's got 3568. So that is our main critical must-hold area in the markets. So I'm thinking there's a good chance that we're going to come into that today, going into the CPI tomorrow, because we do have less bad information. So I'm going to start with my Monsters of Tech chart. This is from TikTok. I do have an extra ticker in here, and I can't remember. I'll get a hold of Sharon and we'll get it out of here. I can't remember if NVIDIA is supposed to be in that chart or not, but I've got it in here. It's close enough, so it'll be all right. But so basically what we got going on here, what I've got on my little chart pattern here, we are into major support here from the 2020 lows. We came within a few ticks of that yesterday, here, but we are breaking into a new spiral. We literally had a breakdown pattern yesterday. So, in my opinion, we're probably going to be retesting yesterday's lows, if not a little bit lower, at the best case, at early on today. So let's just keep an eye on that here on these monsters attack. Okay, and so that's my first primary thesis here. Thinking ultimately to complete this pattern that we are going to violate even this on these monsters attack, and our first main support is down here lower at the 842 area here using this monsters tech chart. Okay, so I definitely want to keep this in the back of your mind here. We're breaking a primary trend, potentially breaking a primary trend for a possible continuation lower here. Definitely keep this one on watch. Coming off of a lower high, so this is the lowest high so far, coming into breaking this trend. So that's why you can tend to get a bit greater extension away from this trend support because you are coming off of a lower high. I mean, it could ultimately become a wedging pattern. There's no question about it. But we also, by breaking that spiral, I think this is a much worse scenario than what we've seen in the past. So just keep that in the back of your mind here for your monsters attack. Okay. Some other things I'm looking at here. Um, you look at your, one second here, I'm going to add volume. Okay, going again here. Okay, so basically what we got going on here, we're bearish on our signals or on our MAs here. Um, some things going on here. So basically we came into the bottom of this spiral yesterday morning, okay? And I was talking about we were potentially breaking down on Apple yesterday. Well, it looks like we're going to be right back into that breakdown scenario possibility here. We do have some supports below us, so be aware of that. So, you know, uh, basically, if we start taking out the close, yesterday's close on Apple, then we have to start getting really worried here. So the 138.33 area, really critical. Okay, so be aware of that in today's session. If I zoom in here, we're close here. This is really critical here. We came right into that support, and they held it so far. That is a SAR daily support area, very critical support area. But it looks like to me that we might be flushing this fib arc scenario here early on in today's session. So be aware of that. Yesterday we came down into it. Today we could potentially be breaking away from that. So be aware of that. Another thing that I was looking at this morning here on my 1 hour charts. Initially this morning we were opening. We were trying the pre-market session before the PPI came out. We were trying to put prices in above our CPR. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. So we're fighting two forces, opposing forces here, and we were trying to go above our momentum cloud early on this morning already. So we got two very important opposing forces at play right here on our Apple, and it's very important in my opinion. So definitely keep on watch, what's going on here. They're doing their best trying to save this beast. So, uh, I think this is really going to be a big tell of the bigger market conditions. Okay. And then also on Apple down here, you can see we were right on the cusp of possibly breaking out of an Andrews pitchfork formation. So we've been basing here for a couple of days now. So, that's another thing you got to be really in the back of your mind here. Are they going to finally come into this thing and save it? So, so my main takeaway coming into yesterday, that was a major support area. I would like to see a much higher above average volume supporting it at that price point yesterday, and we did not get that. We did get average volume, just barely, but we did not get an outside volume spike in Apple supporting price. So that really is concerning and worrisome to me that there was not buyers coming in to to, to even support Apple where it should be supported here. So be aware of that scenario. Okay. But like I said, these are bearish clouds that we're into here. And like I said, we are showing a little bit of hope here with our CPRs on Apple. But that, like I said, so far it's just a little bit of hope. Uh, so uh, uh, so basically, we start getting if we initially early on start, you know, uh, getting into the 140 area here on Apple, maybe they come in here by the dip. But PPI being bad, now we have CPI tomorrow. It's not looking good for the Bulls. Okay. So be aware of that. So things I'm seeing here on ES's real quick. Zoom in. We're opening below our CPI, below both our clouds potentially here to start the session here on ES futures. That's bearish. So if we open at this points here, I would probably initially go short and probably stay short until we start going back above our CPR areas. Okay, and so be aware of that. Oh, I know my charts look like gobbledygook. I mean, I typically have a smaller time frames on my charts. I'm sorry. Uh, but yeah, there is quite a bit of support down here, so be aware of that also. Uh, so we have to keep that in the back of our minds here going forward in today's session. Some other things. One second here. I wanted to start talk about Intel Corporation. So what I was looking at in Intel here, which one do I want to go for here? I thought if there's a possibility of a bounce today, the news out of Intel, they are announcing laying off thousands of workers. Okay, and why is that good? Let me go over here on the weekly 5 year. It's not showing up on 5 year. 20 year. Intel is into a significant 2015 low as of yesterday. Okay, so be aware of this scenario. This could be a short squeeze scenario for Intel given that news that came out if they come in to support the markets. So be aware of that scenario. Now, and on the flip side, problem that I saw in today's market. Let me go here. Let me find my other chart. I gotta find it. I just got through drawing it out. 1 second here. Okay, here you go, guys. Go. I just got through drawing this out. I used fib arcs on this, okay, to try to predict where we should find support on our SMH, your semiconductors, and that Intel is a big contributor to this index. And what I want to really point out here, I do not think we've bottomed out yet on our semiconductors. Now, I do want to point out the semis have just been decimated this week, and we are currently trading outside the expected move on our semiconductors. So if they do want to put some sort of relief rally in, semiconductors is logically a place that it could happen. So just be aware of that because we are outside the expected move already on semis, and but I do have support lower. So, but we are in like 15-year, oh no, a 7, 8 year low support potential for Intel here going into today's session. I'm not, I'm a momentum trader, so that kind of trade isn't really up my alley, but it's something to be aware. And one final thought is Tesla. So we finally hit the magic 116. A lot of traders have been waiting for this 116 area to accumulate. I do have a trend line below us at market maker move low for the week. So that's at the 207, yeah, 207, 208 area. So I am not gung ho about coming in trying to buy the dip on Tesla personally. So, and we have seen those prices before. Okay, these prices were supported somewhat with the trend lines that we had in the past. Currently, we do not have that same support. So be aware of that in today's session. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet today. Uh, uh, right here, right now, I'm leaning more on the bearish side because the patterns are suggesting that's what I should do. So we'll see what happens as the market progresses.